Paula Boggs, as a lawyer, I mean, she's worked for the Pentagon and jumped out of airplanes. She's been a federal prosecutor and investigated complex criminal organizations. She's worked for big corporations.
For me, it's all about mission and service.
In addition to being a rock star, she has been the rock star of the legal aid movement for many, many years in the state of Washington.
I'm not a woulda, coulda, shoulda kind of person. And so for whatever amount of time I have, I want to keep pushing.
Paula, as leader, would make sure that things got done and things happened.
Working on access to justice issues is a natural outgrowth of values that have been core to me my entire life.
I grew up as a kid with parents who taught us to give back.
Lucy Lee Helm, she's passionate, she's humorous, and she understands the role of lawyers and laws in empowering people.
I think we have obligations with the gift that we're given with the law degree.
I joined Starbucks in 2002. There were so many people like Lucy Helm who were so passionate about access to justice issues.
When I walked in the door for my interview at Starbucks, I asked the question, can I do pro bono work here? There were a lot of people that wanted to know how to give back and do pro bono service, but we didn't have the infrastructure to do it. So we formed a pro bono committee who really looked outside and worked with our law firms to see what projects that we could partner on. So we had done a number of things, including provided tenant assistance through the Housing Justice Project. That was our biggest and first project.
One of the first department-wide pro bono efforts was on behalf of first responders.
We partnered with Baker and McKenzie on a couple of legal projects, and we had also worked with Columbia Legal Services on a couple projects there, so there was a natural connection.
Casey Truppen, he had thought about the Homeless Youth Handbook since like 2005.
So we spent a lot of time going out to shelters and drop-in centers and schools and talking with youth and providers and teachers and other professionals about how youth could use the law to help get to stability. All this time we had a desire to actually put it on paper so that whenever somebody needed it, they could look at whatever resource it was and find out what their rights and responsibilities were.
We started the handbook from scratch. The only thing we had was the topics that we wanted to discuss.
It turned into gradually a long list of about 18 areas of law.
CLS would get calls all the time saying, I'm homeless, I don't have anywhere to stay right now, where can I go? And because of that, we tried to answer those questions in the handbook.
And then we spent a lot of time thinking about how do you make legal answers understandable for young people, for people who work with young people.
Casey and I were the main ones that worked on the project from Columbia Legal Services. From Starbucks and Baker McKenzie, there was over 100 attorneys and professionals working on the handbook and over 1,000 pro bono hours later that the handbook was created.
In terms of directly affecting youth, we're hearing from providers and from the youth themselves that they're feeling empowered, that they understand what they can do, and they're actually taking the steps to do that. To see it spread to places like California and Minnesota and Texas and other places, I think was just amazing. It has connected youth advocates and youth providers across the country and corporate counsel in a way that has never happened before. And that, I think, was the combination of Starbucks doing an amazing job on this and Baker and McKenzie having the global vision to make it happen.
No matter how much Starbucks or any other corporation does, the gap between resources and need is vast.
We have a great deal of investigators, paralegals, administrative assistants, compliance professionals, all with legal backgrounds coming together to support legal services. Something we have learned is don't underestimate the value of a law firm working with a corporation, working with a community partner. We all want to impact those people who don't have legal services. And I think the power of us to come together to impact that rather than just individually doing it makes me very positive about the future of legal services.
Having the general counsel be as involved as Lucy Lee Helm was really fantastic for all of us. It showed that she cared about the ultimate effect of the handbook, that it would help people, and it wouldn't have been a success without her.